Let's start with the cauliflower rice so it's ready when the stroganoff is done. I've got it in a frying pan over medium heat and I'm just cooking it through until it's tender, lightly dried out. No extra salt or pepper here, just a simple saute in the pan until this softens and takes on a little bit of color. Once it's done, put it aside and keep it warm. Okay, let's start building flavor right into the beef. In the bowl sliced beef, I'll add salt, black pepper, paprika, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, and olive oil. These are the basics of the marinade. Simple, but they really help the meat taste richer later. Now just give it a good mix until every piece is evenly coated. You want that marinade clinging to the beef, not sitting at the bottom of the bowl. Once it's nicely mixed, I'll let it sit for a few minutes while the pan heats up. Now I'm adding the first batch of beef to the hot pan. I'm being careful not to overcrowd it, just a single layer so each piece can make contact with the surface and get that nice sear instead of steaming. I'll let it sit for about a minute or so on the first side, just until it starts to brown and releases easily from the pan. Then I'll give it a quick flip and do the same on the other side. The goal here isn't to fully cook the beef, just to brown it and lock in the marinade flavors. Once it's nicely browned on both sides, I'll take it off the pan and set it aside on a plate. I'll make sure to keep all those juices with it. That's going back into the sauce later. Now I'll do the same with the second batch. Again, give it room in the pan so it gets a good sear. This batch comes out too once it's nicely browned. And now we've got beautifully seared beef ready for the creamy stroganoff sauce. Now we build the base of the sauce. Add some unsalted butter. Let it melt nicely on the pan. Add some olive oil. I'm turning the heat down to a medium and letting the butter melt into the oil. Once it's fragrant, I'll stir in the onion so it cooks evenly and starts to soften. It will take a few minutes, but I want it tender and just starting to turn golden before we move on. Now go in the mushrooms. I'm spraying them out so they can brown instead of steaming. They're going to start caramelizing and deepening in flavor. Now a little salt. The salt helps draw out moisture and build a richer base flavor. I'll keep stirring so nothing sticks while everything cooks down. In goes garlic, thyme, paprika, some nutmeg, and salt. I'm stirring that in so the garlic doesn't burn and the dried herbs and paprika get a chance to bloom in the fat. We're going to keep stirring occasionally until it smells deeply savory and the mushrooms are nicely browned. Now it's time to make the creamy sauce. Start with sour cream, cream cheese, heavy cream, Dijon mustard. I'm whisking those together until the mixture is smooth and creamy. I want no lumps so it blends easily into the pan later. Once it's homogeneous, I'll set it aside and come back to it when the broth is ready. Now I'm adding the beef broth. I'll pour it into the pan with the onions and mushrooms and stir it in. As it heats up, it'll loosen all the browned bits from the bottom, pulling that flavor into the sauce. Just let it simmer and come together. Now I'm adding the creamy sauce. I'm stirring it slowly so the sauce stays smooth and doesn't curdle. Once it's all incorporated, I'll keep stirring until the whole mixture is glossy and evenly combined. This is when the sauce really starts to look rich and velvety. Every piece of that seared beef goes back into the pan along with the juices. I'll stir it gently so the beef gets fully cooked in the sauce. Then, I'll let it cook for a few minutes over low heat so the beef finishes cooking through and the sauce thickens slightly around it. Now a little lemon juice, some fresh parsley. The lemon juice brightens the whole dish and cuts through the richness, while the parsley adds a little fresh herb note and a pop of color. And now we're done. We're going to bring the beef stroganoff on top of the cauliflower rice and lots of sauce to coat it. And we're looking at a rich, comforting keto dinner that tastes every bit as indulgent as a classic version. Enjoy!